So in this video I'm going to have a more in-depth look at our Wi-Fi router, our Avtex AMR985, and look at some of the speeds it's capable and some of the facilities that it's got on it. It's a bit difficult to do a full test because I won't know how well it works until we've been away with it. So these speed tests are all sort of done on the drive and in the kitchen. So obviously what I'm really interested in is, can it pick up a signal when our previous Netgear router couldn't pick up a signal. Now what I do want to mention is that there's a few questions people are going to have about why did we get this router when we had a perfectly good Netgear router. Now I've answered a lot of those questions in yesterday's video, and that's about our Christmas present, which is what this router is our Christmas present. So do watch that if you haven't watched it already. Like I say, I want to look a little bit more in depth at this router and tell you a little bit more about it. If you can see, that little box over there is the aerial. It's a tiny little aerial. It's got like a ring around it, so that's good, but it's much smaller than I thought. It's the first time I've seen it that way. So I thought I'd show you where the router is mounted. It looks a bit weird because I've got a bit of paper stuck over the front. On the front there is a QR code that you can scan with your phone to connect you to the router, so I thought I couldn't show that to the world. I'll have people connecting to my router when I'm on campsites, so can't show that. It's also got the SSID, the code that you use to connect to the router, so I didn't want to show that either. But on the top here we've got the two Wi-Fi aerials. They provide the actual signal to your laptop or your phone. The two leads coming in here are to the outside aerial, so they go to the one on the roof. There's two slots here, one and two, the slots for your SIM cards under there. Underneath, and I don't know if you can see it in the light, there's some status lights, there's a power light, and there's some green lights to tell you whether you've got a signal or not. And the only other thing to show you is where it's mounted, and done quite a nice neat job of fitting it in there. It's sealed up and it's got a rubber grommet on it to stop the water getting in there, and the lead comes down and into the router, and that sends the signal out. Now these aerials are really good because I'm picking up the Wi-Fi signal when we're in the house, and that's quite a few yards away, and it seems to be actually stronger than my home routers, so my laptop keeps connecting to the motorhome's Wi-Fi router, so quite impressed with it. I've just fitted the Netgear M1 router, and I've just a couple of adapters to run the outside aerial into the Netgear. Just leaving it there for a minute, and we'll see how it does with the outside aerial, see if that makes an improvement to the Netgear. First of all, connect to the Netgear router. Right, connected. So we'll do a little speed test. Yeah, that's not bad. 10 megs download and 12 megs upload, so pretty good. We'll do it again. We'll try it a few times. Second time, 6.86 megs download and 18.8 megs upload. Okay, not bad, not bad. Without the aerial connected. Let's see what we get. Okay, 8.52 download and 11 megs upload. Do it one more time. Oh, falling out of there. Okay, 3.36 download and 9 meg, slightly slower, 9 meg upload, so still good upload speeds. Little slot on the back of the Netgear router, as you can see it's a cut down version, so it's a it's the second one down. It's not a nano SIM, it's a micro SIM, so I need to find an adapter to get it to fit into that slot. An old adapter from an old SIM, and that one should just fit in there. get it in there correctly. Should just push into there. So always keep those little adapter parts of it, the bits that you cut out, the different sizes. So let's put that in the rotor. Right, so it says scan for the Avtex rotor there. So go connect, and it will want the password. And I need obviously to find that. Right, look away for a minute. Right, connected. Took a little while. Right, I had quite a bit of difficulty getting the SIM card to say it was in use. I've put that in several times, and maybe because I'm using a bit of an adapter, maybe it just wasn't reading the contacts. I've had the in and out several times, and it seems to be on now. So we've got SIM 1 ready. I've put SIM 2 in, but I haven't activated that one yet. So let's see if we can do a speed test then on here. Let's see what it says. That's not bad. 16 up and 16 down. Right, so I'll connect to Vodafone. Right, you have to change the password to get into the more advanced menu. Back to the general. Then you put in your mobile data limit. Okay. On SIM 1, on SIM 2, clear the data limit. Tells you the network operators. Current operator Vodafone. Oh, God. SMS limit. Okay, right. Excellent. So network, mobile, LAN, wireless, firewall, routing, load balancing, well, static IP addresses, profiles, administration. Well, this is quite something. Okay, so this is the Govivo SMS. So I think we're going to try using this, and it's got 3 packages that you can switch between. You've got UK unlimited data, an EU roaming package, and a holding tariff, so you can put it into park if you don't want to use it. So I thought we were going to actually try this out, so we want to enable it. So it's got a QR code that you scan, so you want your bank details and all that sort of thing, and they want the 10-digit number from the SIM card, which unfortunately I think I've put in there. No, it's got it. And you can change. Depending what you want to do. We might just see if we can get on changing over if we get a weak signal. The important thing is we've got the TV connected to the Wi-Fi now, so we can watch the football, which is via the Fire Stick ITV hub. Right, so now the next day, and what I've done is we've paid for the other SIM, so we've got the Govivo thing enabled now, the Govivo SIM. So we've actually got 2 working SIMs. So what you can do is in the configuration you can go into SIM management and you can say which is your primary SIM card. So I've now changed that over to SIM 2, check it's working obviously, and you can get it to change over from SIM 2 to SIM 1 when any of these conditions occur. So if we have a weak signal, if we've got some sort of data limit, now these SIMs have got unlimited data, so I'm not worried about that. If there's a text limit, when you go roaming. So if you want one of these SIMs not to be working when you go roaming, in other words when you go abroad, you could do that. If one of them has no network, now I think that would be my preferred choice, so that if it can't find a network, then obviously I could change over to the other SIM and see if that's working. Or perhaps if there's no network denied, I don't know when that would happen, or a data connection fail. Now that might happen at any time, so I wouldn't normally tick that. And then you can do the same with SIM 1 to SIM 2. So you can say, well, I'll do this on no network, and you can enable automatic switching. It will automatically switch between the two SIMs, so you should get a signal at all times. There we are. So it says there, SIM switch be performed after 2 minutes. So if either of those don't get a network, I can then, obviously it will automatically switch over after a couple of minutes to the other SIM. So that's one way of using it. That's possibly a way we might use it. Now, I've got 2 SIMs in here now, and really just going to try it and see how we get on. At the moment we're on SIM 2. On SIM 2, network operators, go to that. Network operators, it says I'm on O2 at the moment. So I do a speed test on O2 and see what that's like. Like I say, the signal here is not brilliant anyway. Okay, so 4.86 and 9. So if I go back to my thing here, I can then go back to SIM management, and I can change it over manually. Simply say by saying what my primary SIM card is, and go save. Okay. Network operator's gone back to Vodafone now. So if I now do another speed test, that was the previous one on O2, 4.86 and 9.11. Do another one here. So I'm getting much better speeds on Vodafone here, but that might not always be the case. Depends where the signal is strongest. So 21 and 12.8. Okay, so quite a good download speed. But obviously you can't do that test unless you've actually got 2 SIMs to compare. I think probably the way we would use this we're going to settle on one of the SIMs, either the Vodafone or the O2, depending on how we get on. So we're going to see how we get on with that, and then we'd probably have SIM 2 as perhaps a SIM that we buy when we go abroad, perhaps one in France or Spain or Belgium or the Netherlands or whatever, and then just swap it over as and when we need to. Or we might just see how we get on with the O2 SIM, because that's got 50 gig of roaming data on it, so that should be pretty good. We'll see how we get on. So we'll be doing a bit more testing of this router as we go away. We're due to go, I think by the time you're watching this we'll be in Ashwell, so hopefully we'll be giving you some feedback on how well we're getting on with it. I know Ashwell was a particularly sort of dodgy area for mobile signals, so by now you probably know how well this router's doing. So anyway, hope you found this interesting. If you did, give us a thumbs up and we'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye then.